lot of interest in a lot of people wanting to go to Asia. Um, I'm sure that's a lot on a lot of people's bucket list, and so a lot of
Yes.
people. It seems like a lot of people are checking that off. And I know we have some amazing Asia itineraries that people are looking into. And then the other thing I've noticed recently is there is a renewed interest in Australia as well. So a lot of
Hmm.
people are looking to go to Australia. And then at the end of the day, our most popular itineraries are the Europe itineraries. I guess, no matter how many destinations you have in the world, people just love Europe. They love the
Yeah.
history of it. They love the romance of it. So, and the food and the wine and all of that other
Yeah.
good stuff. So, Europe is always going to be number one for us. But just as far as trends go, those are the
Right.
trends that I'm seeing in the industry. And I'm seeing a lot of people doing a lot longer cruises these days. Before I used to see like the longest cruise, that I would see would be like 10 to 14 days, 14
Right.
nights. But now I'm starting to see people doing the 20, the 24, and the 30 night cruises. People are really getting out there and really wanting to see and experience new
The longer.
destinations and new
Hmm.
places and stay longer away.
Are the people that are staying that are doing the longer cruises, are they my age or are the young people doing them also?
Well, they're about your age. They're in your age bracket. But I am seeing some younger folks in their late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Before there used to be just the 3, 4, 5 night type cruisers, but
Right.
now they're starting to do the 10 night and the 14 night cruises,
Oh.
and the older crowd is starting to do the longer cruises. So it,
Yep.
it is it is trending to a longer vacation these days.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Longer vacations.
So we got to get you on board. We got to get you on board on one of
I'm,
these for
yeah,
sure.
I'm really, 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 really looking forward to it because I had a customer that did Oceania.
Hmm.
Uh, they did the Mediterranean, and
Oh
all
yeah,
he could talk about was the food.
yeah. I'm telling
And
you.
he's a sommelier, so his thing
Oh, so
was,
he was ready.
yeah,
Yes.
his thing was the food was absolutely incredible. So that's when I kind of figured that's what I needed to do. So who would be your typical client?
See, now this is a tricky question because it's. I think that there's all types of age ranges and groups that would appreciate what Oceania has to offer. You know,
Hmm.
I know people in their late 20s and early 30s who would love this type of service we provide, who would love a small ship experience, who
Right,
would love the food that we offer. But if you go about a typical marketing, you have to use the stats and things like that. And so our stuff is going to skew a little higher because obviously we have a 180-day cruise. Not too
right.
many people in their 30s and 40s are going to be doing a 180-day cruise.
Hmm. That's
So, and some of the other longer itineraries that we have. So, our median age is over 50, it's like around 55. And then we obviously have a higher income level than most cruise lines because, like I said, we're upper premium. So we do
right,
offer a luxury experience. So the medium income is a lot higher. But like I said, if you go on the shorter cruises, the 7 nights, the 10 nighters, you're going to see a lot younger demographic because, like I said, I don't think there's an age range for wanting quality products and a quality vacation, and with what
right.
we have to offer. So, the marketing says 55 and up and da 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 da, but I think that if you look at what we have to offer, there's a ton of people out there who would love to experience what Oceania has to offer. So that's why I tell people don't limit yourself in what we do based on the numbers. Just look at the experience, and based on the experience, I think a lot of people would love what we have to offer.
So let you kind of touched on something that's near to my heart. We
Hmm.
kind of specialize in groups. So what's your group policies like, or do you have many groups that come on board Oceania?
Oh yeah, we have tons of groups, and we're basically like everyone else. Minimum 8 rooms for the group,
Hmm.
and you would book that. We would reserve the space through me. Now the difference with us, with our group program from others is we really don't use gap points. The group amenity
Yeah,
points programs
yeah.
like a lot of people do. We really don't do the point system. Basically, what we do is we give you a list of amenities and you take a look at that as a travel agent and you come back to me and you say, hey Brian, I looked at the list and this is what I'm going to need to make this group work. and you give me the list of amenities that you're looking for. And I always tell my agents, hey, shoot for the sky, shoot for the
Right.
moon, ask, ask,
Right.
ask for everything, and then I, as your representative, I go and negotiate for you to see what we can get. So sometimes you might ask for $400 in onboard credit, and I'll go ask for that, and I might not be able to get you 400, but I can get you 200. So that way
Right.
we get you something, you know what I mean? And so that's
Right.
what we do here with our groups program. Now, the other thing that happens too is, let's say you fall below the minimum of the 8. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
you tried to get a group on there, but it didn't work out. You only got like 5 staterooms instead of the 8. We don't
Right.
take away the amenities that you negotiated for your
That's
client.
good.
So that way they keep whatever it is they got. So if they got free gratuities, if they got onboard credits and all of that stuff, they keep that in, because we don't want to punish the guests because, you
Right.
know, the marketing didn't just come through. But
Right.
that's our group program. And like I said, we do a lot of themed groups, mostly food and wine. Because like
Okay.
I
That was
said, on
my
the
next
two,
question.
yeah, because like I said, on the two larger ships, they have the cooking school, they have the art studio and things like that. So what a lot of the culinary groups do is they get on the bigger ships and then they reserve the cooking school for their groups. And so that's something that you can do with your group if you're putting a foodie group on board. If you're doing a wine group, we do have some wine amenities that we add to the group. So there's like a winemaker's dinner where we do a pairing of all of the wines with a nice dinner. We do wine tastings and whatnot. So if you're bringing a wine group on board, those are things that we can set aside, and those are different activities that we can have for the various groups. But like, obviously that's our bread and butter, the food and the wine. But I've seen all types of groups on board. I think another great idea would be a photography group. If you have a group of
Yeah.
people who are, we have these African itineraries where people can go and do, you get there early, do a safari, and then jump on board the ship and go see some of the most beautiful places in the world. And so a photography group, I think, would be a very good idea. But I've seen some crazy groups, Karen. I'm telling you,
Like
since I've been
what?
in this industry.
Give us
I
some of them.
listen. I saw that when I was with Celebrity, there was a lady who did a knitting group. She did a
Yes.
knitting
That's
group,
huge.
and apparently because I guess there's some type of special yarn that's only available in Alaska. So she did this big knitting group, and she had like the Michael Jordan of knitting come on
Oh, wow.
board as her group leader. And do you know how many rooms she got for this group?
How many?
53 rooms.
Wow. See, I need to
50.
come up with an idea like that.
That's what I'm saying. So think outside the box. Like, obviously the food and wine is what we specialize in, but there's groups for everything. There's so many different interests that people have. And once you capitalize on that interest, you find out what people are interested in, and you find a way to put all of those folks together in one place where they can share that interest. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be very successful for you. So I always tell people, think outside the box. There's no idea that's too crazy. So, bring it to me, and let's see if we can work it out.
There we go. That's what I told my daughter. I said, we're at that age where she's 30-ish, I'm 50-ish, and one of the things that you don't see a whole lot, or because life takes on its own
Hmm.
challenges, is moms and daughters being able to have that
Yes,
quality time together. And I said,
that's
what
a
if we
great idea.
were to do a mom and daughter cruise next year or something, and we just do all things that relate to mothers and daughters
I
relationships,
think
and just
I think that's amazing. I think that's an amazing idea. I think a lot of people would love to do that, and it would be a really good way for a lot of people to reconnect because, like you said, life
right.
gets in the way. We get busy. You
We
know,
move to different
I
areas of the world,
yes,
and
yes,
you
and
know,
that'll be a great way for people to get together and rekindle that mother-daughter relationship. And then that's a type of idea that could, result in multiple groups. Like that could be an
yeah,
annual thing
yeah,
going
that's what I
forward.
was
So that's
thinking.
definitely a great idea when you go to different destinations every year, you try something new, go to a different area of the world together. And I
Yeah.
think that's an amazing idea.
Well, there we go. I think we got something to start with. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, I love it. I'm let's find a great itinerary to start with. Maybe
I
Cuba.
know it.
Cuba could be a really good itinerary to start with.
And she actually wants to do Cuba, so that could be a perfect itinerary
There we
for
go.
our
And
first
and then
one.
and she's based in Florida, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we have the Cuba trips go round trip out of Miami. We have a 7 night and a 10 night. So either one of those will work for your group, I'm sure.
That sounds amazing. Then my husband's gonna say, "Well, what about us boys?" That'll be the next thing. So we have to think of something we can do with them too. So that'll be
Yeah, we'll come up with something for them later on.
that'll be fun. So we've got specialty. We got our theme cruises that we're that you guys are good at. Love the food and wine thing. We've talked about your typical client or not so typical clients. We've talked about
Hmm.
groups, and you've kind of talked about the promotions, right?
Right.
That you have, we have the option of choosing one of three amenities that we um, can select when we go on board. What
Yes.
type of special requests do you get? Do you ever get anything that's either really weird or, something that's really standard that seems to be something that everybody's asking for now?
Well, the one thing that I get the most is mostly people celebrating something on board.
Hmm.
So they are celebrating an anniversary or someone's special birthday or something like that. A lot of times when people go on these trips, they base it around a special day. So a lot of times I'll get, hey, can you do something for us? It's an anniversary, it's a birthday, it's
Right.
something like that. And so I'm able to, do bottles of wine in the room, um, things of that nature. So that's like the number one thing that we get. And those are like the special requests. And you always have people that are like, oh, these clients of mine, they're VIP and da 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 da. And so
Right.
everybody's a VIP all of a
Of course,
sudden.
everybody.
So yeah, so we get that request and whatnot. But I think the main thing, and I really don't get a ton of crazy requests. And I'm trying to think since the year I've been with Oceania, I haven't gotten anything crazy. I just think that like it's mostly the folks who are like celebrating something, and
What
that's the
about
biggest
vow
thing.
renewals or destination weddings? Do you guys do
Oh,
those?
yes, we do. Yeah, we definitely do those. You can do those all over the world, pretty much, because all
Okay.
of the different places we go to. So if folks want to do that type of stuff, we definitely do that. Now, obviously, it's not something that we specialize in, but we
Right.
can accommodate if someone wants to do that.
Okay. That seems to be, I'm getting a barrage of
Oh, you are you?
destination
Okay.
weddings and vow renewal folks all of a sudden. Yeah, out
Yeah,
of the,
when I worked for Travel Impressions, we used to get a ton of those because that was
yeah.
land based. So it felt like every single week I was dealing with a new wedding group or something like that, multiple wedding
Hmm.
groups during the week. And we some crazy stories about bridezillas and
Oh my
groomzillas
God.
too. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God. I
Yeah.
don't know how you guys do it as travel professionals to
Well,
put up
at
with that
one,
kind of
early on in my career, when I was younger and I was really big into that market, I
Hmm.
got to a point where I just had to stop because
Yeah.
it got ridiculous, and it was something about those brides at that particular time that was just off the chain. This 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 group that's coming along right now seem to have a better handle on life. It's just they don't sweat the small stuff so much, and it's just all
Right.
about the experience for their friends and family as opposed to it all being about them. So
Right.
it has changed quite a bit, and I'm so thankful because, like I said, I used to do big wedding market, and it was like, oh no, I can't do this. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
there
had
was
to
one
let it
agent that
go.
I used to work with. There's one agent that I used to work with. That's all her whole business strategy was weddings, and
Mm-mm.
he was stressed out every week. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know how you do this. I couldn't do it. It's
no, I
so
can't do
he
it.
was stressed every single week. Something new was popping up, and over
And
again.
they
I was like, oh,
expect it, and those folks expect you to be available instantaneously.
yep, 24/7.
It's
They call you
yeah.
2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Hmm.
mad about something with
Something come up
flowers
in
or
their
something.
brain in the middle of the night, and that's it. Yeah, it's craziness. Well,
Yes,
I'm so glad that you took time out today to tell us a lot more about Oceania. And you and I are going to be working together on
yes,
doing some online presentations and social
mhm,
media. We talked
yes,
about that,
yes, we
and
did.
I'm really excited about that and getting on board. I do have one more question for you though.
Sure.
What's on your personal bucket list?
Ooh. Wow. So many. I have so many places I want to go to, but I'll tell you, like Africa is like number one.
Yeah.
That's my number one place.